Hello buddy, welcome to Boxing Science. In this video, I'm going to be covering the boxer's muscle, aka the serratus anterior. Now this is a muscle that you might have seen before on boxers with fantastic aesthetics, and you might have seen this muscle just sitting below the pec and on the rib cage, and you might be thinking, what is that muscle, how to develop it, and why is it so important for boxing? The serratus anterior is a muscle that is just sitting deep under the scapula and wraps round the rib cage. It's the lower part of the serratus, and it's really important for boxers because its action is to stabilize the shoulder blade in upward rotation and protraction of the shoulder blade. So if you think about a jab, upward rotation and protraction of the shoulder blade. So the serratus anterior is really important to stabilize that scapula. Why is it important for boxing? It contributes to the punch, the upward rotation and the protraction of the scapula, but then it's important to stabilize that shoulder joint. If it's not stable, this is where dislocations can occur, and also more tension going through them ligaments and tendons, and this is where boxers are most likely to get injured. So the serratus anterior is really important to protect this shoulder joint and reduce that likelihood of injury. Now the challenges are around the serratus anterior is such a small muscle group to actually isolate it. So what we do at Boxing Science, we do some isolated drills, but we also do some integrated movements as well. So on the isolated drills, there's foam roller on wall slides where we're looking at primarily the upward rotation of the scapula. We use a band in there as well to just keep them scapulas set in position. And then we look at the figure of 8 drill. So the figure of 8 drill is where arms are full extension, going into slight protraction of the shoulder, and then working in the figure of 8, working that movement. The serratus anterior is having to switch on to create stability in the scapula of the moving arm. Then we've got some dumbbell uppercuts. This is upward rotation and protraction without using anything from the arm muscle, keeping the arms fixed in position and basically working across the body, and this is really getting that scapula just shifting across into that upward rotation and protraction. And then we've got some cable or banded jabs where we're working towards the end range of the movement, what we would normally do on a chest press or shoulder press exercise, but because we're doing it under less load, we're just able to just try and shift that shoulder into a more extended position, really challenging the serratus anterior in this position, rather than in a chest press position where we're just looking at primary key movers, the chest, shoulders and triceps towards that end point. You're kind of unlocking your shoulder a little bit to get a little bit more activation, the serratus anterior. Integrated movements where we're looking at more multi-joint movements now, where the serratus anterior activation is increased. We start off with a plank with a pike. So we're going into a plank position, serratus anterior is switched on here, and then we go into pike position, and you can see that scapula is upward rotating and protracting at the same time and increasing that serratus anterior recruitment. The same happens in a TRX pike, but we've got our arms at full length, so this is increasing the amount of protraction that you get from the scapula. Same with yoga press-ups as well. But with yoga press-ups, we're associating that protraction with a pressing movement. So this is more beneficial for boxing because with TRX pike, we're at full length and going into upward rotation and protraction. Whereas on the yoga press-ups, we're actually associating that with a pressing action, then the serratus anterior creating that stability as we increase that range of motion. We then got single arm core holds on the medicine ball. Serratus anterior is having to switch on in an isometric format and in sync with the core, and this can transfer into the end range of the punches. And then we've got dumbbell pullovers. Dumbbell pullovers where we're really working that upward rotation and protraction of the shoulder, but we're more working the eccentric. A lot of these are more working on the concentric action, but with dumbbell pullovers, you're really working on the eccentric action of the serratus anterior. That's a quick whistle-stop tour on how to target and develop the serratus anterior through a handful of isolated and integrated exercises. When to use this? Well, we use the yoga press-ups and some of these core exercises in every single workout. But if you've got an athlete that is struggling with a shoulder injury or something like that, this is where we'd be looking more at these isolated drills and performing more exercises that are actually targeting this serratus anterior. If you've got any questions about any of the exercises used, please leave them in the comment box below. And if you're not subscribed yet, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on any future content. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully see you in the next video of Boxing Science.